Okay, so, haven't we all at some point kind of wish there was like a magic formula to make our relationships run a little smoother?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just talking about like romantic relationships, you know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
right.
talking about like all of them,
Yeah.
family, friends, work, the whole nine yards.
It's so true. I think, a lot of times we just try to change the other person,
Yeah,
like it's some kind of project,
exactly.
and, it never works.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where today's deep dive gets really interesting.
Okay.
We're going to be exploring Dr. David Burns' book, Feeling Good Together.
Wow, great.
Now, some of you might know Dr. Burns from, his work on CBT,
Yeah.
cognitive behavioral therapy,
Right.
and his best-selling book, Feeling Good, the new mood therapy.
Yeah.
He's, pretty big deal in the self-help world.
Yeah, he's a legend. I mean, in Feeling Good Together, he takes those same incredibly powerful CBT principles that have worked so well for things like anxiety and depression
Yeah.
and applies them to relationships,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant, And what's really cool about it is that it focuses on changing ourselves, not the other person.
Yeah, that's a huge shift in thinking,
Absolutely.
like taking responsibility for your own side of the street.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do we actually do that?
Right. Like, how do we go about changing ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
in relationships? Well, one of the most important concepts in the book is something called cognitive distortions.
Okay.
And basically, these are just warped thinking patterns
Got it.
that we all have,
Yeah.
that can really mess with our perceptions and
Mhm.
lead to conflict.
Okay. Can you give us an example of
Great.
like a cognitive distortion?
Yeah. So imagine you're texting a friend
Okay.
and they don't respond right away.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, right. And so you might start thinking like, oh, they're ignoring me. They don't care about me,
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's called mind reading.
Interesting.
Like assuming you know what's going on in the other person's head.
Right, right.
So that's a classic cognitive distortion.
Oh, wow. I do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. We all do. We all do. He actually outlines like 10 common ones
Oh, wow.
in the book.
So how do we break free from these mental traps?
Well, he has this really cool tool that he calls the relationship journal.
Okay.
And it's not about blaming the other person. It's about self-reflection.
Okay.
So you basically write about a recent interaction
Okay.
that went south and, what happened,
Right.
your thoughts and feelings at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and what you could have done differently.
So it's not like a he said, she said blame game.
Exactly.
It's more like looking inward at yourself and your own patterns.
Precisely. Yeah, it's all about just becoming aware of how your own thoughts and reactions might be contributing to the problem.
I'm starting to see how this self-awareness can really be, a game changer. But okay, let's say we pinpointed our cognitive distortions.
Yeah.
What's next? How do we actually communicate more effectively?
Right.
Dr. Burns must have some tips, right?
Oh, he absolutely does. He lays out what he calls the 5 secrets of effective communication.
Interesting.
Okay, and these are packed with really practical techniques.
Okay.
He covers things like the disarming technique,
Okay.
empathy, inquiry, using I feel statements,
Uh-huh.
and stroking. It's a pretty comprehensive approach.
Okay. I am really intrigued by that disarming technique.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like, like a Jedi mind trick for relationships.
I love that. Yeah.
So can you give us an example of how it works?
Yeah, sure. So let's say your partner is like glued to their phone.
Oh, classic.
Classic. And you're feeling kind of ignored.
Yeah.
So instead of snapping at them, like,
Right.
you're always on your phone, you never pay attention to me,
Right.
you could try the disarming technique.
Okay, I'm all ears.
You might say something like, hey, I see how much you're enjoying that game, but I'm feeling a little disconnected from you right now. Would you be willing to take a break in a few minutes so we can chat?
Oh, wow. That's so much less accusatory
Right.
and way more likely to, get a positive response.
Exactly.
This disarming technique is brilliant.
Yeah.
But is it basically just agreeing with everything your partner says,
That's a great question.
even if you don't actually agree?
Yeah. No, the disarming technique isn't about agreeing with everything.
Okay.
It's about finding a genuine point of understanding,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's small.
Okay.
You're validating their perspective
Right.
before expressing your own needs.
Oh, I see.
It's about de-escalating the situation so you can have a productive conversation.
So it's about building bridges instead of walls.
Precisely.
even when you're feeling frustrated or annoyed.
Exactly. Yeah. And when we do that,
Okay.
we create a space for genuine connection.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
We've uncovered so much in like just a few minutes.
That's true.
We need to take a deeper dive into these 5 secrets of effective communication. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
I can already see how these techniques can be applied to like so many different relationships.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll be right back. That disarming technique is, it's definitely powerful, like especially in those heated moments when it's so easy to react,
Totally.
defensively.
It's like a secret weapon against those like knee-jerk reactions that can just totally derail a conversation. But we've only just scratched the surface of these 5 secrets, right?
Right. We touched on disarming.
Yeah.
But there's also empathy, which is absolutely crucial in any relationship.
Yeah. Empathy, I feel like, I have a basic understanding of it, like putting yourself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear Dr. Burns' take on it.
Well, he goes beyond the basic definition. It's really about like deeply listening and trying to understand their viewpoint, even if you don't agree with it.
Okay.
And then, reflecting back what you've heard to show that you get it. He calls this reflective listening.
So instead of just waiting for my turn to speak, I'm really taking the time to like hear what the other person is saying. Not just their words, but like their body language too.
Exactly. And when we do that, it can be incredibly powerful for the other person.
Yeah.
I mean, they feel heard, understood, and validated. And it just creates a much more open and receptive atmosphere for communication.
Hold on. So all this time,
Yeah.
I've been approaching disagreements like it's about proving I'm right.
Oh, yeah.
No wonder I wasn't getting anywhere.
It's so common.
So Dr. Burns is saying it's more about creating that connection first.
You're having an aha moment right now.
Yeah, I am.
This is what the book is all about.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got disarming technique to kind of like de-escalate. And empathy to build understanding.
Yeah.
What's the next secret?
So the third secret is inquiry.
Okay.
And it builds on that foundation of empathy.
Okay.
By encouraging us to ask open-ended questions.
Okay, so instead of like yes or no questions,
we're
like digging deeper, getting the other person to like share more.
Exactly. So for example, instead of asking like, are you upset with me? You could try what's making you feel this way.
Okay.
By starting questions with how or what, we invite the other person to like elaborate and explore their own perspective.
Okay.
Helping us to truly understand where they're coming from.
This sounds so helpful. I have a confession though.
Okay, what's that?
I sometimes struggle to express my own feelings.
Yeah.
Without sounding, blamey or accusatory.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Any tips for that?
Well, that's where the fourth secret comes in. I feel statements.
Okay.
You've probably heard of these before.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. They sometimes feel cheesy.
Yeah, they can if they're not genuine.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But when used authentically,
Okay.
I feel statements are a really powerful way to take ownership of your emotions
Why?
without blaming the other person. It's about expressing the impact of their actions on you, not labeling or judging them.
Okay, I need an example. How do we use I feel statements without sounding like a robot?
Right. So let's say your partner forgot to pick up something important from the store.
Classic.
Right. And you're frustrated. So instead of saying you never listen, you always forget things.
Right.
You could try, I feel frustrated and disappointed when things I ask for get overlooked. It makes me feel like my needs are important.
Wow, that's so different. It focuses on the impact their actions had on you.
Yeah.
Not on their, like, character flaws.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be much less likely to, start a fight.
Exactly. And finally, we have the fifth secret, stroking.
Stroking.
Yeah. Now, this one might sound a little odd.
Okay, I'm definitely curious.
At first.
Yeah.
But it's really about finding genuine positives to affirm in the other person, even in the middle of a disagreement.
Wait, so we're supposed to, like, compliment someone?
In where?
While we're arguing with them?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive.
It does.
It's not about being fake or insincere.
Right.
It's about remembering that even when we're, clashing, there are still positive qualities we can appreciate in the other person.
Right.
And it can really help soften the edges of the conflict
Mm-hmm.
and prevent it from becoming this, like, total negativity spiral.
When you put it that way, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
We're so quick to focus on, like, the negative
Right.
when we're upset, but intentionally finding something positive,
Yeah.
even just like a small thing,
Yeah.
can really change the dynamic.
Exactly. And I think what's so powerful about all of these 5 secrets
Yeah.
is that they work together.
Right.
It's not about, like, picking and choosing
Right.
which ones you like.
Yeah.
They're a system for creating got it communication.
That's so true. It starts with, like, de-escalating with that disarming technique,
Right.
then building understanding through empathy and inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
Then you express your needs assertively with I feel statements,
Right.
all while, like, maintaining a sense of respect with stroking.
Exactly.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, and the best part is, these techniques can be applied to
Yeah.
all kinds of relationships.
Right, not just romantic ones.
Not just romantic ones.
I'm already thinking about, like, how I can use these secrets with my family,
Yeah,
my friends, even at work.
absolutely.
It's like a toolbox
Yeah,
for better communication
it is.
in every area of life.
Exactly. And what I love about, Dr. Burns' approach is that he gives us, like, these practical, actionable tools
Yeah.
that we can start using today.
Right.
It's not just theory. It's about
Yeah.
real change.
This has been an incredible deep dive so far.
It has.
I'm so excited to keep exploring these ideas.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm already feeling, like, more hopeful about my relationships just thinking about putting these 5 secrets into practice.
So that's great.
But I also have to be, realistic.
Yeah.
Changing deeply ingrained communication patterns, like,
Right.
that takes time and effort.
Absolutely. Dr. Burns actually addresses that in the book.
Okay.
He emphasizes that, setbacks are inevitable.
Right.
Like, we're human. We're
Right.
going to mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about progress, not perfection.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
We need to be, like, kind to ourselves in this process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like learning a new language.
Totally.
We're going to make mistakes,
Yeah,
but the more we practice, the more fluent we'll become.
exactly. And he gives us a ton of exercises in the book
Okay.
to help us practice these communication skills.
That's great.
Like, he provides real world examples and even scripts that we can adapt for our own situations.
I love that he encourages, like, experimentation.
Yeah.
It's about finding what works best for you
Exactly.
in your own unique relationships.
Totally. It's a toolbox, not a rule book.
I like that.
And, something else I appreciate about his approach is that he talks about power dynamics in relationships.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't shy away from those, tricky situations where there might be an imbalance of power.
Right, because, let's be honest, not all relationships are equal.
Absolutely.
We might have more power in some relationships and less in others,
For sure.
and it's crucial to be mindful of that.
Right. And he gives guidance on how to navigate those dynamics
Okay.
in a way that's respectful and promotes understanding,
Mm-hmm.
like how to advocate for your needs and boundaries.
Right.
Even in relationships where you might feel less empowered.
So it's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where both people feel heard, respected, and valued,
Yes.
regardless of their, like, position in the relationship.
You've nailed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's about creating a balanced, healthy dynamic.
Right.
And that brings us back to the, core message of the book. It's
Yes,
not
sir.
about controlling or manipulating the other person. It's about fostering genuine connection.
It's about building relationships that are grounded
Yeah.
in mutual trust,
Yeah.
respect, and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the kinds of relationships that bring, joy, support, meaning to our lives.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
there's a quote from Dr. Burns that keeps coming to mind.
Okay.
He says, "The greatest gift you can give to another human being is your own happiness."
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It reminds us that our own well-being
Yeah.
is intertwined with the well-being
Absolutely.
of those we love.
For sure.
When we take care of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we're better equipped to, like, show up for others.
So true. And remember, it's a journey, right?
Right.
There will be ups and downs. But with the tools and insights we've explored today,
Mm-hmm.
you can navigate those challenges and
Right.
create relationships that are truly fulfilling.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has been.
I'm walking away with a whole new set of tools for, like, communicating more effectively.
That's great.
And I'm feeling so hopeful about the possibilities.
That's fantastic. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Pick one thing you can do today to improve your communication and watch how it ripples out into your relationships.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep diving deep,
Keep learning.
keep learning, and keep feeling good together.
That's it.